My Buddhist Practice with Positive Results. Written by Alex Leduc. Narrated by Deidre Eby. Introduction. Unlike other books which explain what Buddhism is, I'd like to focus on my insight into practicing Buddhism, the experience of practicing it, and getting positive results. Buddhism is not a religion. Besides meditation, it's only a way of living your life. It's based on an understanding of the principles, and there are certain rules to follow if one wants to achieve positive results in his or her life. This book is going to help you better understand what Buddhism is, how it can benefit you, and how you can apply it in your daily routine. If you are looking for Buddhist practice and a positive result from it, you are at the right place. Chapter 1. Buddhism is not a religion. It's a way of living your life. I lead my life with wisdom. I'm aware of all things I do and I say. I try not to commit sins. There are some rules to follow. I follow the rules on a daily basis, such as do not kill. If I kill either an animal or a human, I commit a sin. How about being vegetarian once a month, then once a week, then 5 days or 6 days a week? The more I become vegetarian, the more I become compassionate to all living things. One day I watched a TV program. They mentioned chickens brought up at a farm, and the farmers went to pick a few to kill before delivering them to local restaurants. After watching this scene, it really hurts me. While I was already vegetarian once a week, I started to practice it on a regular basis. As we speak, I only eat vegetables, legumes, and fruits, or anything not related to meat, such as flour, pasta, rice, bread, etc., 6 days a week. The principles are 5 precepts that guide a life lived genuinely, gracefully, and compassionately. The precepts are not to lie, avoid slandering others, not gossip, not speak if it harms someone. I only maintain the right to speech with accuracy. If I lie, I commit a sin by becoming more misleading, and it leads to more sins. Not to steal. If I steal, I become greedier. I attach to material. I create more cravings. And I commit a sin, which is bad karma, that I have to repay sooner or later. Not to have other sexual relations. It means to have a normal and happy married life, not to cheat, as it just creates more troubles to the family's happiness and harmony. It leads to more hardships and afflictions. Not to be alcoholic. If I drink too much, I lose my mind, consciousness, and I can't concentrate on my life to do the right things. If I become more of an alcoholic than social drinker, I become blind not to observe clarity. I commit other sins that lead to other sins. It's a vicious circle. So I'm mindful and careful of everything I say and do on a daily basis. Chapter 2. Understand karma. What goes around comes around, or you reap what you sow. Karma is an Indian term explaining the results of good or bad deeds in a previous or current life. For instance, if I commit any of the 5 above sins, I accumulate a bad karma that will return to me in the near future or next life. If I have a life full of hardship, then this is the result of my bad deeds. The same can be said if I commit a good deed. The benefit will return to me in this life or the next life. Some people don't see immediate positive results during this life because they have accumulated bad deeds during their past life. Now they have to pay back these bad deeds until they are paid off before the positive deeds are rewarded. A few years ago, I put up a stranger who was visiting the city for a day due to his long layover. I remembered one of my good deeds is to put up someone in need of a place to stay. Also, I became compassionate since I practice Buddhism, so I went ahead and gave him a hand. The good deed turned into a positive karma. 2 years later, I had a chance to purchase a cheap land in a tropical country where everything is more affordable than the place I originally lived. It doesn't sound like instant karma, but it's true. I'm sure 99% of people who received a request to put up this man would have turned him down because they don't realize the act of compassion or understand mercy. People don't realize how powerful karma is and how it affects us in a daily life. Having said that, I didn't mean to offer this place in the hope of getting a reward. It's just a result of my good deed or action. Karma is a universal law. Like I mentioned above, all these acts committed are reflections of your current or future life. Chapter 3. Understand reincarnation or rebirth. Buddha believes in rebirth. Like the karma mentioned earlier, humans are reborn because of their good or bad deeds. For instance, a person can be reborn to the following realms: the human realm, the lower realm, and the hell realm. Naraya, ni means nothing, aya means happiness. The person has to suffer misery and unhappiness because of his bad deeds. Sometimes this person has to spend a very long time in this hell. Once his bad deeds are paid off, he may be reborn in the human or the other realm. There are also other realms: ghost realm, Peta Yoni, and the animal realm, Tiragana Yoni. People may be reincarnated into animals such as dog, cow, duck, pig, fish, chicken, bird, snake, beetle, and shrimp. In the heavenly realms, there are 3 levels of heaven, split into 29 heavenly realms. The first level of heaven. There are 6 heavens. One of the most important of this heaven location is Tusita, which means happiness. After giving birth to Lord Buddha Siddhartha Gautama, circa 550 BC, Queen Maya was reincarnated to this heaven. Other bodhisattva who are not Buddha yet reside there. The future Buddha Metya will be reincarnated to Earth when human beings' life expectancy will be around 10 years old. Every 100 years, we will decrease 1 year of life expectancy. Let's say people die around 80 years old. The next Lord Buddha will come down here in the year 9000 to spread Buddhism. The first Buddha, Adida, after reaching nirvana, comes to heaven to Sita every day to teach Dharma, Buddhist teaching, to the human beings who are so gracious and fortunate enough to be reincarnated there after their last life on earth. It is said, once you're reborn in this heaven, you live eternally with peace, harmony, happiness, and everything you want appears in front of your eyes. You will never get old. You will never die. You will never suffer anything you come across on earth. The minimum living age is in this heaven is 4,000 years. How can they achieve this? During their last life on earth, people really need to live a pious life. They reject all luxury, greed, anger, and ignorance. They've made enormous sacrifices by denying everything that is attached to them. It doesn't mean they live in a monastery during their life. They just lead a normal life by following Buddhist teaching Dharma. Or they're just lay Buddhists. I once had a maid who came to live with us when I was little. Now, I noticed she led a pious life, exactly what I described above. I believe she's reincarnated in this heaven. A few years ago, I recalled her name. During my dream, she appeared in front of me and said something I couldn't hear. I realize that I still live in this third dimension world, whereas my mind is at her higher dimension. That's why I couldn't communicate with her until last year when she came back again to see me in my dream. And I started to hear what she said. I think I've evolved spiritually since then, which means I've developed my Buddhist knowledge and put it into practice through these years. Finally, I managed to hear and perceive what people say to me at higher dimensions. The second level of heaven. There are 16 heavens. In one of these, Sudhavasa, the beings reincarnated there have the ability to know where people would be reincarnated in the next life. For instance, they will never be reborn again. Once they reach their age, they will join nirvana. The third level of heaven. There are 4 heavens. The particularity of this location shows no difference between male or female. This is the highest heaven where people can live for millions of years. We're attached by greed. For instance, someone who makes $1,000 wants to make $5,000 more. Then even that is not enough, and he wants to make $10,000, etc. He's attached to greed and craving to have more money. Anger. One who doesn't practice the 5 precepts doesn't know how to abstain from anger, which leads to more bad deeds. Ignorance. When one denies the existence of karmic law and doesn't practice the precepts, one continues to live in ignorance and delusion. There are 3 poisons origin of the rebirth cycle: life after life,